Namaskar. Today we have a re-induction session with all our mentees of Film Life School. When I say re-induction, we have the habit of building, breaking, rebuilding. The reason why it happens is, once you start working on something, you will get new insights. A lot of people do not do anything about insights. Unless you implement those insights into the process immediately, there won't be any improvement. So generally, for other institutions or other individuals, they take a very long time to see some level of growth or improvement. Here we almost do it in real time. We keep capturing insights. When something is picked up, we immediately install it at the next cycle. So today you have completed a particular cycle. Most of you have done a cycle for AFM. So I might have reached anywhere between 40 to 60 or slightly here and there. So some cycle has happened. So before we get into the next cycle, and also before we head into the next month, this is to remind you why you are all here and why we exist and what we are supposed to do forward, moving ahead. So basically, it all starts with some level of trust. You might have watched a video like this, probably with the ones who are shooting this video, with one among Manju, Radha, Dikshita. And then you're here, now you're this side of the video, which actually means you trusted something, you saw something, you trusted the people, you trusted the process, you trusted the place. So this all starts with the trust. And once you trust, probably you guys would have reached out to your parents or the other way around. And mutually we decide to have a particular transaction to make sure the process is installed and implemented in you. And once that trust and transaction happens, the most important thing you give us is time. You give us time. So the game is all about converting the time in terms of minutes into marks. You give us X amount of minutes, we have to convert minutes into marks. In order to do this, we have a triangle. One is the place where you are sitting right now. When you say place, it has two dimensions. One is a mind space and the physical place. And both of them influence each other. If you are not in the right mind space, wherever you are on the planet, you can't be happy, you will just be miserable. And even if you have the right mind space, the physical place is very cluttered, it's very clumsy. If it's something else is happening there, then it doesn't make sense. It should be a combination of mind space and physical space. Internal environment, external environment. We constantly keep working on it. This is about the place. Next is the people. When I say people, starting from you, your study buddy, your subject expert, exams expert, mentor, the whole team him, team HLS. So everyone who are involved are working on a single objective. How do you clear your exams in the upcoming attempt? This is exactly how all the people are connected together with a single objective. Great achievements on the planet are achieved when people work on the single objective with a, I would say, ruthless level of focus. So that's exactly what we trigger here. So these two are sorted. Next comes the concept of process. The process which we are sharing with you is a culmination of 30,000 plus hours. We invested 30,000 plus hours in the last 5-6 years, churned it. I'll tell you why we are very proud of this. It's been 5 years since we have been actively sharing videos on YouTube. And I don't think we have reached even 5,000 subscribers. Now, this explains how much less focused we are on views and subscribers. It's a crime. On YouTube, 5,000 subscribers is a crime. If somebody puts in 5 years, most of them would be in the range of 1 million or 2 million people. Most of it. Because it is very generic and useful content for a lot of people. I don't think there is not even one single video which we made for YouTube per se. We make it for you. Even this, it's because we don't want to waste time in explaining people in terms of the process. Now, the focus should be on you. Parallelly, since it's a capturing device, that's how we are focused. Now, since you're doing the right thing, the answer thing automatically happens. Now, we have people from almost 10 different states because of the one central region where you're not focusing on the non-core aspect. Now, the reason why I'm telling you is, you also focus on what has to be done without worrying about the rest of the things. So, if you focus on what you have to do today, tomorrow, day after, automatically all the results in terms of probably settling down in a particular company or in a city, getting married, building a career of your own, anything which you want, everything is right here in your hands. So this is the process in which we'll go to a particular outcome. So moving ahead, apart from what we have already discussed and implemented. The first and foremost thing, I will remind you a day with him or a day at HLS, how it has to happen. The first and foremost thing, the moment you wake up, start writing previous day recall. Recall what you have done the previous day, write it out. Immediately, within 1 to 3 seconds, you get up, keep a book by your bedside, start jotting it down. Because 5 a.m. all the lights will be on, 10 p.m. lights will be off. When you wake up, most likely lights will be on, so start writing previous day revision. Then the next schedule depends on the magic of mornings, depends on the mentor. For some of you have been thinking of making you revise what you studied in the previous day and all. So once you do the previous day revision, next is the transition hour, which is the MOM hour, magic of mornings. It has a combination of meditation, breathing, depending on what we do, or sometimes the subject expert tells you what you have to do in the tablets. Once it is done, next important thing, one is PDR, next is 6 to 9 study hour. We call it the MOM study session. Don't miss even a single minute in the study hour. Don't waste it for doing anything, including your bathing, even if you want to do it before or after, but not during this time. 6 to 9, if you use this time properly, you will be able to achieve 40% of your targets. 40% of the day's targets should be done before 9 a.m. If you do these two things right, your day is automatically good. You just have to get these two things absolutely right. Previous recall and 6 to 9 a.m. MOM session. That's it. Once it is done, as you proceed towards lunch, try to complete 70% of the targets before lunch. Because post lunch, you see the dip. It goes like this and there's a dip. So ideally what we focus here on is called study window, non-study window. 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. you should be able to complete most of your studies. After 5, physical activity and rest of the things, writing an exam or revising. So before lunch is where you have to complete majority of the syllabus. Now post lunch 2 to 5 p.m. session, it's largely for you to maintain that intensity during the examination time. You have to fight your lack of energy. Immediately after lunch, you might want to take a nap. All of things will be there. But your ability to stay focused on something for 3 straight hours becomes very, very, very important. That is between 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So 5 to 6 physical fitness break. 6 to 9, it's more about finishing the gaps or testing your knowledge, writing an exam. So most of the work should be done between 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. The balance is all about bridging the gaps and rest of the things. Okay, this is how the day should go. The day ends with a session, of course, and also your day end revision. Every day should end. Whatever you studied until that point of time, you should be able to write everything or recall everything in 10 to 15 minutes. Starting with previous day recall, ending with day end revision. These are two things which should happen. How your day starts, how your day ends. Mom, dad. Okay, these are two aspects in terms of how things have to work out. Is it clear? So this is about the logical part of things, and for this you'll have one chartered accountant working with you to individually improve on your subject. For example, inter and final level, there are 3 papers. One is a king subject, where there is a chance of scoring 60. If you have to hit 60 in a particular subject, there has to be some additional focus. In a particular group, a king subject, where you have a chance of scoring 60, a queen subject, where you have a chance of scoring 50, a pawn subject, where you have a chance of scoring 40. 60, 50, 40 at a basic level. Some level of moderation will automatically happen. You don't get the exact same marks, but in your mind, all 3 papers should be divided into king, queen, and pawn. This is about the segregation. So this is the logical aspect of it, and we keep working on it. Now, apart from this, now as much as logical we always believe there is something or someone higher up. When I say something or someone higher up, where it's very hard for us to tackle the stress, or where it becomes very hard for us to tackle the pressure, load and everything, we outsource this stress to someone else. There is a spiritual connotation to that, there is a religious connotation to that, we have multiple ways of looking at this particular aspect. But in general, it's always better to outsource a few things which are not totally in our control. So that way, we have a temple nearby or any other place of your worship which you prefer, anything, meditation space. You can also look at ecosystems like each art of living. Everything is in and around the vicinity of high-tech city. So you can look at all of that. And in general, spend at least 20-30 minutes every day in connecting to that particular ecosystem. Whether it's God, religion, or some guru, or simply meditation, or just sitting idly in a park, or walking, whatever it is. outsource that part where you cannot process it yourself. Okay, so this is exactly how we are going to work on this, and I guess it's from the previous time. So I got fresh bands for you. Now these are called Talismans. We got it from a local IT who is very popular. Whenever I wanted some additional energy, I kind of grab it. You just go there, you surrender yourself, you'll get abundance of energy. So this is something which will give the needed support from other ecosystem to you guys also. And you know, sometimes when you think things are not going, you just have to have a look at this and you sort it. So that's the whole part. It's like your Spider-Man's web. So that's how it is. I believe the cycle would have given you reasonable insights on how to proceed forward. As long as you keep knowing the truth, whether something happens or not, it's a different system. But you always have to understand that where you are is a realistic perception, not a emotional perception. Where you stand has to become very, very real. So when you know where you are, it is very easy for you to go where you have to go. Okay, so this is how I wanted to conclude this, and from here onwards we want to add one step at each cycle. Like most likely we'll be having an outing in the upcoming week, during the upcoming cycle. Anything. So each cycle we'll finish a target and we'll have something to cherish upon or look up. Clear? Yes. So can we repeat the one last second challenge with more vigor?
Yes.
I accept the one last attempt challenge. All of you together.
I accept the one last attempt challenge.
Fair enough. This time no retake, so it's reasonably good in one attempt. So from our team, based on the insights I got and based on the papers, I think you have been doing a fabulous job. So you're helping us, live our dream of pass guarantee program where everyone comes and everyone clears in one attempt. Okay. Thank you guys. So this is exactly what I wanted to discuss with all of you together. And thank you for recording this. Thank you very much.